Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that old line. Car insurance cost all that.
What is going on, Raider Nation? What is going on? It is your boy Darian coming to you live with another video. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Shout out to all the subscribers that subscribe to the YouTube page. And this is your first time ever being at the YouTube page, I would suggest that you subscribe and hit the bell button and get the latest news and all Raiders news. But we're back here with another Las Vegas Raiders video. In this video, we're going to be talking about something about Week 13's game, knowing that today is Tuesday, and I do want to talk about this game for one last time before we focus on the Indianapolis, because we all know the Raiders are focusing on them now. But as far as me as an analyst and a YouTuber, I just want to say thanks for everybody that tuned in to all the live streams, even the primetime games that's not a part of the Raider Nation. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And make sure, like I said, hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications if you want to hear more about the Raiders. So we're going to talk about Week 13, and this is going to be the last time we talk about Week 13, and this is going to be 4 things we've learned in the Raiders versus Jets game in Week 13. That was a very up and down game. I know I said some things on the live stream that I wasn't supposed to say, so I do apologize for that. But let's get straight into it, man. Here are 4 things that we learned from the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New York Jets game in Week 13. And the first thing that we've learned in this game, was that Derek Carr is still good even after a tough week. The Raiders' offense was historically bad against the Atlanta Falcons as they failed to score a touchdown and turned the ball over 5 times to a defense that's in the middle of the pack at best. Derek Carr was one of the top chief culprits in that failure as he threw a pick 6, fumbled the ball twice, and he was sacked in the pocket. He had a chance to bounce back in Week 13, and he did just that more against a Jets defense that was ranked 32nd against the pass. You would not know. You have guessed if they actually played on Sunday. The Jets defense was gashed by Darren Waller, but aside from Henry Ruggs' touchdown, they were not beat deep, but plenty of pressure on Carr. Carr was sacked twice and hit 6 times, was consistently pressured by blitzing the Jets, but they came through with an incredible performance. This piece may have been much different and had a last drive not happened, but even without it, Carr threw for 300 yards and 3 total touchdowns. But his bomb to Henry Ruggs to win the game took his performance to very good to great. Carr finished the day with 381 yards and 3 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown added on a good measure. It was the best stats performance of the year, and you could not have come. It couldn't have been better than what it was. But at a better time for the Raiders struggled to establish a running game, Josh Jacobs was just not there to help out with the running game. The veteran quarterback carried the team once again, and it was good to see him back at his best after his struggles in Atlanta. Have to agree 100%. A lot of people would disagree with this part because they felt like Derek Carr did miss some overthrows and stuff of that nature. But the guy numbers don't lie. The guy had 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing. Well, actually, 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing. Then he had 1 rushing. You can't be mad at it. He almost had 400 passing yards in this game, and I think he only had 11 incompletions, 11 or 12 incompletions, which is not bad at all. So a lot of Raiders fans are going to be mad about this here, but in my opinion, I think this was the best. This was the best in my opinion. I think he played really well, and he did what he was supposed to do to help us win the game against the New York Jets. Now, the second thing that we learned from this Week 13 matchup, that the Raiders missed Clelin Ferrell so much after 2 weeks. The Raiders defense was without one of the best players for the past 2 weeks in Clelin Ferrell, and the impact was felt imminently, particularly against the Kansas City Chiefs. In Week 5, Ferrell had double-digit pressures and the key figure in forcing Patrick Mahomes into the worst game of his career. In the rematch, Mahomes constantly had all day to throw, and the Chiefs ran with ease on the side where Ferrell usually lines up. Ferrell has been an excellent run defender this season, and against the Jets, he flashed some of those pass rush skills against a highly touted rookie and first-rounder, Mekhi Becton. Ferrell made the 2 biggest plays of the day for the defense that struggled to contain the Jets offense that has been poor all season with a 2 strip sacks that either led directly to points for the Raiders or took points off the board for the Jets. On both plays, he made an excellent tackle. He made an excellent left tackle look silly with his bag of tricks, and he was greatly rewarded for his efforts for the first 2 sacks of the season. The Raiders have gotten pressure to the quarterback in recent weeks, but have struggled actually to bring him down, and to change this week, Farrell sacked Darnold twice all on his own. He was a difference maker in that game and played the type of game that we expect a player selected in the top 5 of the NFL draft. Couldn't agree with you more. Cleveland Farrell had a wonderful game on Sunday against the New York Jets offensive line. Max Crosby, they know that was going to go after Max Crosby when it came down to it. So at the end of the day, Cleveland Farrell was definitely missed. He was missed in this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This guy was definitely missed. And I'm happy to have him back even for this upcoming week against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the third thing that we missed, the third thing that we've learned in this game, that Jonathan Abbam's absence was felt, especially in the running game. Jonathan Abbam was ruled out late in the week with a knee injury that was more concerning for the Raider Nation than the absence of Josh Jacobs. The Raiders offense has been good all season with a few expectations, but the Raiders defense has the exact opposite. Bad for the most part with a few flashes here and there. For most flashes usually feature Jonathan Abbam, with the second-year safety has been one of the leaders in the unit to a true tone setter. Abbam may get lost in coverage from time to time, and he continues to learn the game, but where he excels at is laying the wood in the run game. That may lead to some missed tackles, as we saw the Patriots, but makes running backs think twice when turning the corner on those outside runs. Against the Jets, the Raiders defense was repeatedly gassed by a bunch of no-name running backs, and one couldn't help think that Abbam would be erased from the mistakes made in the run game. The Raiders also several missed tackles in the secondary, and that's another area where Jonathan Abbam could have made a difference. Abbam has also been working on his playmaking skills, and one of the team leaders with 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Sam Darnold played a clean game through the air, but he's also against a second and third string safeties, and Abbam would have clearly been an upgrade. The young safety is a tone setter for the defense that has already established himself as a leader, and presence was missed dearly the day in New Jersey. Could not agree with you more here. He was definitely missed. Yes, we do know that he missed tackles. Yes, he does miss coverages, and we got on him for that. But at the same time, you got to think about it. Jeff Heath was in there. We didn't put Joyner back there like I thought we would. But at the end of the day, we had to work with what we worked with. But he was definitely missed in this game. I think this game would have been different and totally different in the run game for the Jets if Abbam was out there on the field. And the final thing that is actually what we learned in this Week 13 matchup against the New York Jets was a win is a win for the Raiders, but it kind of feels like a loss. The prevailing feeling after Derek Carr threw that game-winning bomb to Henry Ruggs was a jubilation and a relief, then disappointment that it took such a dramatic play to beat a 0-11 team, which is the New York Jets. Raider Nation wanted to see the Silver and Black bounce back in a big way after an embarrassing loss to the Atlanta Falcons that would settle for a comfortable 2-score victory. The Raiders don't blow teams out very often, and those have watched them closely this year knew that the blowout was not likely against this Jets team. But the mundane win definitely was suffered. I can say it was a definitely tough game. It was a tough game. Instead, we got one of the most dramatic games of the NFL season with one of the more unlikely wins in the recent Raider history. It was not unlikely because the opponent of the unlikely because of the situation and how it unfolded. They said all wins count the same, but the Raider Nation seems to be almost unanimous in a feeling a little dirty about beating a lowly Jets in such fashion. The reality is all wins count and they do the same as we said all week. Even though the Jets were struggling, they are still a professional football team that needs to be taken seriously. The Jets have been blown out several times this year, but have lost 6 games by 10 points or less, and now they have 3 losses by 1 score, including the dramatic 30-27 loss in the resurgent New England Patriots. But the lesson we learned here is that while we have been disappointed to only beat the Jets thanks to a miracle play, all wins do indeed count in the standings, and this is a game the Raiders can point as where they overcame adversity and missing several key players on both sides of the ball. Couldn't agree more. I feel like the Raiders gotta play better if we're going to try to play against the Indianapolis Colts next week. Well, this upcoming week. But this is what we learned. We learned that we did face adversity. I was mad in the live stream. I was going off in the live stream. But at the end of the day, the 4 things we learned, at the end of the day, a win is a win. And that was the 4 things that we have against this Raiders and Jets game. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And do not forget, at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live on this channel for some primetime football, which would be the Dallas Cowboys versus the Baltimore Ravens live play-by-play and reactions. You do not want to miss that, so make sure y'all turn on all notifications. But let me know what you think. Is this the 4 things that we really learned about the Raiders and Jets game in Week 13? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk, and I'll see y'all at 8 o'clock tonight for Cowboys and Ravens. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.
Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.